Welcome to round 2 of Downshift Racing. It's my first league race of the season. It's the second event of the season. We are at Brands Hatch Grand Prix Circuit. Everybody's in the M6 Endurance model. Tire wear is 1x, fuel usage is 4x, and we all started with 50% fuel at the race. I was actually a little bit nervous. I wasn't sure how my pace would match up with any of these guys. I had never raced with them before. Initially, I decided I was just going to come in and race from the back, not qualify or anything. But during practice, I noticed that my pace was equal to some of the guys there, and I thought, you know what, might as well just qualify. Now, the settings are bop is on, brake balance can be adjusted, and aero can be adjusted, but I went with the default aero. Figured there was no reason to adjust aero on a track like Brands Hatch. It's low speed bop. There's a lot of short straights, a lot of slow corners, and being the race was only 20 minutes long, I didn't think that there was going to be any real need to adjust the aero balance. I was also the only driver that did not adjust the aero balance. So on lap 1, I started from the pole. I built up a nice little gap. Of course, I'm not having to fight anybody right away. I can just drive and keep focus, and that was really the plan the whole time. It's just to keep focus, hit my marks, and stay on the track, stay out of the penalty box. And you know what? It almost worked. Wall penalties are actually on, so if you slide off the track and hit the wall, you will get a penalty for contact with the wall. This was, I felt, was kind of unique for a league event like this, even in a 20-minute sprint. A lot of the other penalties were not on. Don't recall, I don't think that ghosting was on either. So it was, something is in the back of my mind a little bit, was the no ghosting and the wall penalties, but mostly I was just concerned with staying on the track, keeping the pace, and not doing anything crazy, not doing anything risky. And again, that almost worked. Skip ahead now to lap number 3. At the end of lap number 3 and starting lap number 4 is when things kind of go sideways. I had seen in my mirror, I was watching the Delta a little too much, that P2 was actually closing the gap a little bit, and for the life of me, I decided that I would experiment in the race, and instead of exiting turn number 2 in gear number 2, I decided to exit in gear number 3 and get way on the throttle much too early, and I lost the car, and around she went. You see I got a penalty, and I dropped 4 spots down to P5, and since I had a penalty to serve and I needed to change tires anyway, I thought maybe I'd just head into the pits at the end of this lap. That would give me some clean air to work with. I would have plenty of time for the tires would be in good shape. Wouldn't have to worry about tires or anything like that. So we're gonna jump forward until I come out of the pits again. I exited the pit lane in P7, thinking that now that I have a fresh set of soft tires and enough fuel to get to the end, I won't have to save, I won't even have to think about the fuel, I can just push hard, try and stay within myself, and not make any more mistakes as the race continued. And as I was thinking about this, the guy in front actually made a mistake, and I got to capitalize immediately on a position and take the spot. And actually, instead of making any moves, trying to take his spot back, I think he realized I was on soft tires. He just gave me a little bump draft here, and I was able to eventually just kind of pull away from him. After the pit cycles had completed for most of the other racers, I found myself up into P4. And as I approached Shio here, I figured I had a little more pace than him. I believed he was still on medium tires, and I had a little bit of exit coming out of turn 4 for sure. Carried more speed up through here, and although I didn't really plan on making a huge overtake here, I just thought I'd poke my nose out there and show on the inside. And then he just kind of backed off and let me go. This is why I think he was on medium tires at the time. And I was able to secure P3, at least for a little while. Now time for incident number 2. It was nothing over aggressive or anything like that. I just got the car wide on exit. The back left tire went over the grass, caught the sand, and away I went. Crash number 2, penalty number 2, lost 2 more spots. Alright, we're going to jump ahead now to the fastest lap in the race. I think it's 26.314 or something like that. Oops. Well, the lap we are on now will be the fastest lap in the race. I was feeling really good. I mean, I got all the stupid things out of the way. I got the spin out of the way, and I got the tire a little too far out of the way. Actually slow in sector 1, but I do manage to pick up the pace throughout the rest of the lap, and I think I will just let the lap play out from this point forward. I got my numbers all mixed up. The lap is actually going to be a 124.6. And we'll see that pop up on the screen in just a little bit. And there it is. That'll be the fastest lap of the race. There we are going to grab ourselves another position to back up into P4, and we get to the final half of the lap here. Okay, enough speed to get somebody that went wide, and we're able to slide down inside of them. And I was able to maintain enough momentum to keep the gap from extending too much further into P3. I'm closing in on my final overtake of the race, and as it turns out, I'm actually on soft tires and P3 is on medium tires. So I was able to carry a lot more speed through more sections of the race. As you see, I just kind of stuck my nose in again, not making an attempt for a pass there, and actually almost run into him here because it slows way down for this corner, and I almost run into him. But I do make the move, or I set up the move here, and I wanted to go to the outside to just do the undercut and get a really good exit and sweep down to the inside and hold the line, giving him enough room on the outside, but not giving him any kind of room towards the inside. So he was going to have to slow down to make sure he stayed on the track there. Final turn, final lap, good first effort for my first race with DSR, being able to maintain a podium position.